What's going on, people? Terry here with Blunt Trips, coming to you from Denver, Colorado. And what I'm about to tell you guys today is kind of in my personal life, something that just recently happened. And I just want to share with you guys. Denver is a place of opportunity. There is a lot of jobs here. Minimum wage in the city is 15, although most places, in fact, every place in this parking lot, I'll flash it around. Every place in this parking lot is hiring at least $18 an hour or better. Now, about 3 months ago, my best friend had, ironically, I hadn't talked to him in a few years because last time I did, he kind of did me wrong with some money. Guy, he's really not the best of people, but I've known him for 35, almost 40 years. You know, and you always hope that people change. Now, this ain't a pity me story, nothing like that, just to be upfront. But I ironically called him after not speaking to him for a few years, and when I did, he was homeless and started crying about how bad he had it, and there was no work in this Picowa, Ohio. He told me how bad it was there, and he hadn't worked for a long time. And I'm not going to get into his backstory, but this guy's lost everything all his life. And I know you can't change people, but I didn't bring him here to change him. You know, I knew he had some habits, drinking, he's a bad alcoholic and shit. And I told him, I don't care if you drink, as long as you come here to work. This dude had tears rolling down his face and everything, crying and saying how bad he had it. And I told him, man, I could take you to a parking lot, this very parking lot I'm sitting in, where every place here it starts at $18 an hour or better. Well, he didn't believe me, but he ended up taking my offer and coming here to start over. Because I told him, Denver, you know, it's opportunity. As long as you're willing to work, there's two types of people in Denver. There's those that come here and grind and they live nicely, and those that come here and expect everything handed to them for money and the weed laws and all that shit, just think that everything comes with life. Now, I'm not one of them people, and I don't help those kind of people that just come here and expect handouts all the time. Anyways, I told him, hey, come up here and start over. And he took my offer. He didn't have no money. He was homeless. Like I said, he was crying, tears rolling down his face. So I bought him a ticket, an airline ticket, to come here. Right after I buy him a ticket, he hits me with, oh, I ain't got a valid ID. And you need, these days, especially since 9/11, you need a valid ID. Ironically, they do let you get away with expired ID for up to 1 year, sometimes, most of the time. But, so he hits me with that. So he gets here, and on the second day here, first job place I take him, because he got here halfway through on a Friday. So I took him on a Saturday, and the first place he goes to, with no ID or nothing, he gets a job for $18 an hour. Awesome, bro. You know, I ain't got to drive this dude around. He's got no ID, nothing. They took him at Buffalo Wild Wings. I mean, in the kitchen. And that's not even a manager job. That's just a kitchen help job. Anyways, he works his first week, and his first week's only like 3 days. He gets through that. His second week, he gets a paycheck on the very first, like on his 9th day or so here. He gets a short check for the few days from the first week orientation. Well, this motherfucker calls out, misses work, on a weekend. Now, again, the only stipulation I had, I didn't care about none of his problems, none of his habits. I only cared about him coming and working. Well, he called out. Next week goes by, and he gets overtime. He gets 56 hours, but by the weekend, he calls out again. Third week goes by, he actually takes off a full 7 days. The third week. Fourth week, he fakes like he's fainted on the sidewalk and having a heart attack or some shit. He goes to the hospital. He sits there for 8 hours, and he takes another 3 or 4 days off. And this is continuing. Every week he misses at least one shift. And keep in mind, I'm putting him up in the studio, I'm paying his way until he got his first checks. Now this dude's starting to bank in $1,700 after child support and after taxes and stuff. He's still pulling in $1,700 clearing. But the motherfucker just can't get up and go to work. He drinks nonstop. As soon as he gets paid, he gets bombed from like 4 a.m. in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning, all the way till he passes out. He wakes up and drinks more, and next thing you know, he's calling out 4 or 5 days. This went on for 2 months. Literally the first 2.5 months. 2.5 months. And the first time he made it 7 days, I complimented him. I was like, bro, this is the first time you worked 7 days straight without missing a shift, counting his days off. You know, not worked, but he went 7 days without calling out, including his 2 days off. On the 8th day, he calls out. Misses some more work. I can't have that in my house. Not my house, in my studio. You know, I got work to do when I go there. And I go tell him, hey, this ain't working. You know, after he calls out too many times and missing too much work, I said, this ain't working. You know, when you were crying, you said you had no issues working. But every week you've had an issue, except for one. And then on the 8th day, you miss work. Well, I offer to pay for him a hotel room. I get him a hotel room. I was like, look, you make enough to be on your own. You want to miss days like that, fine. But you can't be up in here. I got work to do in the studio and stuff. And I go there at night. So, of course, he's going to be there. And I can't get shit done. This guy's calling out of work. He works night shift, but he's always there calling out. Anyways, and this is my best friend I'm talking about. Just to be clear, this is my best friend. I'm not like trying to bash the dude. This is somebody I've known all my life. He's got some other habits that we just couldn't deal with when he came around my kid and stuff, the drinking. So we kept him in the studio. But that couldn't go on anymore because now I'm missing, you know, shit that I need to do. So I put him up in a hotel room, and I kid you not. Now this is a place of opportunity as long as you're willing to work for it. He hit just before his 3 months. As soon as I paid for his hotel room, this dude packed his shit up and ran back to a place that had no work for him. But he did it because his in-laws will not let him, or not even his in-laws, the grandparents to his son, because he was never married to their daughter. The grandparents to his son will never let him see or let their grandkids see their dad bad. So he ran back to Piqua, Ohio, so that his in-laws can support him rather than work and find his way. And again, there's a lot of money out here. I actually have 3 jobs, paid jobs, plus I do YouTube, which is paid. Not a lot, but I get paid. And plus I run an online autograph memorabilia store. So there's lots of money here, but this dude, the first opportunity he got, and I put him on his own where somebody wasn't taking care of him and paying his way. I paid 1 week, and then he was to pay his way. After that week was over, he ran back to go get his in-laws to pay for him. And I knew he would the whole time because the first week he got paid here, they took out child support. And this dude just ran from child support all his life. Well, I told him, man, you can't do that in Colorado. And he didn't believe me. By his first check, they got it. And he called his in-laws trying to get the child support back. And I was like, bro, what is wrong with you? Why would you not pay for your kid? Well, not only would he not pay child support, but he'll run to his in-laws who are supporting his own kid to support him too. And that's the difference. My point to this is, for those out there that are looking for opportunity, Denver has it. But I'll tell every one of you, like I told him, you got to be willing to grind for it. Because if you're coming here expecting somebody to give it to you, you end up right back where you started. Anyway, speaking of work, I got to go ahead and bounce over to mine, one of my jobs. But I just want to share that with you guys, a personal message, you know, on how I got here. I started homeless and stuff years ago. I was working overnights and still could not afford a place in Florida. And I left there and moved to Michigan. I learned how to grow marijuana, and I learned a few things, and I thought I could bring it here, but there was so much other opportunity to make more money than just growing marijuana that, I did other things, moved on to other things, but I never went back. I never went back to a place that couldn't take care of me, and that dude did. He ran back, and this is my best friend, and I'm not mad or bitter because I knew he would. All his life he's had people take care of him. But it's a shame that when people are given an opportunity like this, that they don't take it. But there is opportunity out here if you're willing to grind. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and get to work. Until next time, you all stay cool.
Hey people, Jesus here. And I just wanted to remind you, the only way into heaven is to become a subscriber to Blunt Trips. Imagine being stuck in eternity watching those other channels. Subscribe, and Jesus will love you even more. But you have to believe. See you soon. Jesus.